What's up, YouTube? Robert the Monster Among Marks Drap here. I'm back again for another Monday Night Raw review. Now, as you can see behind me, I have the lovely city of Kansas City, Missouri. That's where we were broadcasting from last night on Monday Night Raw, where we got a really solid, at the end, Monday Night Raw. And personally, I wish I could talk about the city I know that my accomplice, my good friend and tag team partner, loves, but I don't really know much about it. So we're just going to talk about this show. This show, for all intents and purposes, with very, very sharp points, sets us up for the future, and I loved it. There were some parts around about the middle that weren't so great, but hey, that's hour 2 and the beginning of hour 3, so I'm not going to hold it too hard against the show. We actually open, because this is the observance of Veterans Day. We see a video package that WWE Creative has put together to honor the men and women and other brave service people who have joined the military. And they always do a wonderful job with their video packages and so forth. So I really don't have too much to say about that. What I will say is it was kind of odd to see the entire tag team division, every team that they have on Raw that's not the Authors of Pain, in the ring to take part in a battle royale that will determine who will captain the Raw tag team for the Survivor Series, the 10-on-10 men's tag team. This better be on the pre-show, because I stone cold don't care. Not even a little bit do I care about this match. It doesn't matter. It's irrelevant. Throw it out. In fact, this part, because they do get a little bit of, they get some start to it, but nobody gets eliminated. And Braun Strowman comes out. Now, here's me thinking, oh my God, they're going to pull a back-to-back where Braun Strowman comes down, wrecks everybody, wins the Battle Royal, and somehow demands his tag team title, basically resetting back to WrestleMania. But no, he comes out there, wrecks everything that moves, both while in the ring, and then he gets out of the ring and wrecks everything that's in there. And because it's him, he goes, grabs a chair, gets a microphone, sits down, says, tonight's Monday Night Raw has been brought to you by the Monster Among Men. And I'm not leaving this ring until Baron Corbin gets these hands. This then prompts Stephanie McMahon to come out instead of Baron Corbin, who says that Strowman is, love that passion, love that rage and that fury, and I really want to see you channel it towards the men, to beating SmackDown at Survivor Series. Strowman's like, I don't give a damn about Survivor Series. I don't care. Stephanie's like, I do give a damn. I'm the general manager, which means I'm going to make you and everybody else on the roster give a damn too. Strowman's like, listen, you and all the other corporate suits are all the same. You see a mindless meat castle. Stephanie's like, no. I don't underestimate your intelligence. In fact, if you play ball with me, I'll give you whatever you want. You want first class trip, you want cars, you want money, you want whatever, planes, trains, automobiles, don't care. You make this happen for me, and I'll give you whatever you want. Strowman's like, I don't want planes, trains, automobiles, none of that. I want a rematch I want two things. I want a rematch for the Universal Championship. Stephanie's like, done. Okay. I want a match with Baron Corbin. Stephanie goes, okay, no problem. Done. He's like, I want to pick the stipulation in that match. Okay, sure. Go. No problem. And I want to have Corbin sign a waiver of liability that I won't be held liable for all the damage I'm about to do. She's like, gonna have to talk to the lawyers and, do a little thing, but it'll be fine. I'll do everything I can to make that happen for you. That part happen for you. The catch is, if I do this for you, you can't lay a finger on Corbin until after Sunday. And you have to win. Ronda Rousey then comes out with the belt on her shoulder. And Stephanie's like, ladies and gentlemen, your Raw Women's Champion, and snag. She snatches it right out of Stephanie's hands. Like, listen, we don't need the pep talk, Stephanie. I'm here to talk about Becky Lynch. And that's when Corbin comes out. I'm sorry. Rousey's like, I've been waiting for a challenge like this, like Becky Lynch, all my life. I'm not demeaning her in any way. I want to face her. I can't wait for Survivor Series. And then she turns out at Stephanie and says, maybe I don't have to wait. Drops the mic. Takes a step towards Stephanie. Baron Corbin's music hits. He comes, whoa, we all need to take a breath, calm down, just cool off for a second. He comes down to ringside. He goes to get into the ring, and Strowman's like, come on. He gets in the ring to start talking at Ronda, and Ronda just fucking hip toss. Boom. And then leaves. Corbin stands up to look at, watch Rousey depart, then turns around and is right there. Strowman. Strowman's like, enjoy your time as Stephanie's lapdog, because after Sunday, I'm going to neuter you. And then walks off. It's like, good. Please. Do something. It'll be great. We see Tamina and Nia Jax heading towards the ring for Tamina's match against Ember Moon. We come back. We get a replay of the kind of formation of this buddy-buddy act between Tamina and Nia Jax. They very much play up the fact on commentary that Nia Jax and Tamina are related as part of the Samoan wrestling dynasty. It's very, very famous that Tamina is cousins with Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson and related to Roman Reigns and the Usos. And I don't know how she's related to Tamina, but Tamina was the daughter of Superfly Jimmy Snuka. Mm-hmm. So there's that family tree, which I basically pared down to branches here. But this match, the reason I'm doing this is because there's nothing special about this match. Ember Moon gets a little bit of offense, but there's not a lot there. And Tamina just beats her basically the whole match. It's a very physical endeavor. And post-match, Nia Jax gets in the ring and delivers a couple elbow drops. Like Tamina puts her in the sharpshooter, almost like a Boston Crab, rather, and then Nia Jax just keeps hitting her with elbow drops. We get word that Corey Graves is going to interview Seth Rollins. After the break, we get a video recap of all that's gone down, from Ambrose and Rollins winning the tag team championships, to Dean's betrayal, to Seth about to relinquish the tag team championships as he can't defend 3 titles at once. The match with the Authors of Pain and how he refused to just give up. And then we get Corey Graves in the ring. Corey Graves, gets Seth Rollins out. Rollins there is like, he's like, listen, I'm here. Let's do this. Graves asks the one question. Listen, we know you're in great physical shape. You always are. But it's not the question of where are you mentally. It's not the question of where are you physically. Where are you mentally? Because if you don't go into this match, with all due respect, if you are not focused on Shinsuke Nakamura, he's going to kick your head clean off. And Seth's like, listen, when I get in that ring on Sunday, I'm going to be laser focused on Shinsuke Nakamura. But as it stands, I have one thing that I want. I want Dean Ambrose. I want my answer. This is when we actually get an image of, we get Dean Ambrose on the hood of a Ford Mustang on the roof of a building somewhere, which I used in the thumbnail. And he's got a bonfire right next to him. He's like, he basically cuts this promo about, you want the answer, you want the question, you ask the question why. Everybody's asking me why. Everybody's saying, why would you turn on Seth at a time like this? Why would you betray him like that? Why now? Why after all this time would you do this to him? And I bet you're asking yourself, it's because I was too self-absorbed and selfless and self-absorbed to see what was going on around me. I bet you're wondering, did I change? What did I do? What did I say? Is this my fault? Nothing's changed. I'm still the same person. I just realized the Shield has made me weak. You made me weak. Roman made me weak. Watching your backs made me weak. And so, and he pulled out the vest, and I was like, is he going to do it? And he did. He pulls up a can of gasoline, shakes it out. I'm going to burn it down. And he throws the vest into the bonfire before walking off. Seth is so enraged he is speechless, and he just heads into the back. We come back from commercial. We get a recap of the match between Kurt Angle and Drew McIntyre. Personally, I thought this might be where Kurt Angle finally comes out and says, listen, I thought I was ready to come back in the ring. Apparently, I wasn't, fully prepared for that kind of violence that was done upon me. But now that I see that the future's in good hands, that it's in the hands of people that are far and beyond some of the best competitors I've ever stepped in the ring with, I don't have to do that anymore. I can go on ahead and be a Raw general manager, Raw commissioner without any need for anything else. We get we do get Kurt's music, but then the record scratch happens, and we get Dolph Ziggler and Drew McIntyre who come out. Drew cuts this promo about how he embarrassed, or how embarrassing Kurt Angle was. He was crying in the ring, how he was broken, how it was just pathetic, and how this is now his show. He's going to remake it in his image. Finn Balor comes out, and Drew McIntyre's like, "Oh, I think I know why you're out here. You wanna get at me after I kicked you, huh?" He's like, "I'm out here because of what you did to Kurt Angle. You didn't have to do that. You had that match won. You could have done it at any point, and you chose to embarrass him and humiliate him." He's like, "Listen, I see what this is. You think that just because last week I helped you up against Bobby Lashley, that we were going to be friends, that because we're both kind of because I'm from Scotland and you're from Ireland, and that whole UK pride kind of thing. I don't think you're on my level. I think you're pathetic. I think that you wouldn't last 2 seconds against me." And Balor's like, "Shut up already. Listen, I've been dealing with people like you my whole life. Time for put up or shut up. You, me, right now. Let's do this." And McIntyre's like, all right. You want a match? You want to have a match tonight? Okay, fine. You will get to face Drew McIntyre. If you beat him, I might lower myself to your level. And then he gives him a Glasgow kiss. Just right there. We get into Finn Balor versus Dolph Ziggler right after the break. Finn sells that headbutt very well. It's a decent match with Ziggler, holding sway quite a bit in this contest, as Finn just keeps selling that headbutt, and McIntyre stands on the outside the whole time and just basically judges them, while this is going on. In the end, Finn Balor gets a roll-up victory after he hurt his knee on the attempted coup de grace, but Ziggler kind of rolled out of the way, tried to roll him up. He flipped it on him and got the 1-2-3 win. I loved it. It was very good. This was a great way to progress the storyline, give Balor something to do, give him a nice bit of shine. Drew McIntyre's already a star, so if he ended up going into a feud with Finn Balor and not coming out on top, that wouldn't be too bad for him. We see post-commercial break, we see Baron Corbin and Stephanie McMahon backstage. They're kind of talking back and forth about the whole thing with Strowman, and they run into Finn Balor, and Stephanie's like, "Listen, I love your passion. You stood up for what you believed in. It was wonderful. That's why I think you not only did a good job out there, I know you'll do a good job on Sunday, because you're going to be on the Raw Survivor Series team." Drew McIntyre and Dolph Ziggler both come up, and they're storming pissed, and she's like, "Hey, listen, take all this right here, point it at SmackDown. Dolph, Shane stole that World Cup victory from you. You should be declared best in the world. It's obvious. Drew, Finn, you guys go beat up SmackDown's team. I don't care what you do to each other after Sunday." And then her and Corbin walk away. We get a replay of Becky Lynch's promo from last week before a backstage interview with Ronda Rousey. And at this point, the choice of words that Ronda chose here was very, very, didn't sit very well with me. She tried to imply, she very much appealed to a demographic that probably, I mean, very much like me, watches a lot of wrestling. She was watching, she was what's the word I'm searching for here? She used the word millennial in the sense of she's entitled, this skinny jeans wearing, V-neck sporting, avocado toast munching. It's like, really? I don't personally like any of that context. Everything she said from there on out, it's like, really? This is the route you're going? After all of the things that you've done, all of the effort you've put into this rivalry, and you're gonna go there. Wow. I've instantly lost any interest in this thing until the end, and we'll get there. Ruby Riott and the Riott Squad are in the ring. Ruby's trying to look remorseful, and I'm just waiting for the bass to drop on this one. They replay last week's tag team match where Ruby Riott broke the sunglasses of Jim the Anvil Neidhart, and Natty doing the ugliest fake cry I've ever seen in my entire life. Ruby says she understands why she's gotten the backlash she has. It makes sense, you know. Jim is beloved. He's absolutely a future WWE Hall of Famer. And I loved every second of it. I wish I had gone farther. I didn't go. You say I went too far. I say I didn't go far enough. Natalya just can't take anymore. Comes out. Her music hits. She comes out from the crowd, hits Ruby Riott as Sarah and Liv Morgan are both on the ramp. She beats Natty up. She beats Ruby up for a minute before the numbers game come back in and get the better of her. And Ruby plus Sarah hit the heart attack on Natty, and they stand tall. We get the originally scheduled tag team battle royale. When we come back from commercial, they're all out in the ring. The eliminations of the Lucha House Party, Slater and Rhino, the B Team, that all happens, and the Revival, that all happens quick. I'm talking Revival, just boom, 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 and it's quickly Bobby Roode and Chad Gable versus the Ascension, which provided a very interesting moment where, and again, it didn't last very long either. I felt like they could have gone a bit more. Chad Gable actually gets Connor over the top rope with an armbar and holds him there for a while before Bobby Roode manages to, pick the leg and huck him over the top, and Chad Gable manages to stay on the apron. This means that Bobby Roode and Chad Gable will be the men's tag team captains. We get to see. I mean, I would have liked to have seen like a little bit more in the aftermath of Connor and Victor going around recruiting people, but we're not going to get that because Survivor Series is Sunday, but is what it is. We get to see a graphic with the entire Raw tag team roster on the bill, minus Authors of Pain. So that's Revival, B Team, Ascension, and Lucha House Party, plus Chad Gable and Bobby Roode on the Raw tag team. The SmackDown side has only been filled out with the Usos and New Day. It's pretty. I think it's kind of apparent that we're gonna get Sanity. I'm pretty sure we're gonna see the Bludgeon Brothers. Are we gonna get Fashion Police on this one? We're gonna have to wait until tonight to figure that out. Paul Heyman and Brock Lesnar come down to the ring for their hype promo for Survivor Series. There's a good nod to Braun Strowman with Heyman giving him congratulations. Very much congratulations. You managed to almost beat Brock Lesnar. You went that far with him. You took 5 F5s. You lost. You're not an unbeatable monster. Congratulations to AJ Styles, who's going to get on the plane to Los Angeles. Go to the hotel. Go to the Hotel California, the top suite, Suplex City, and lose at Survivor Series. And I love this part. He actually says, quote, "And for those kids who don't know about the reference to Hotel California, Google it, bitch. I'm not here to educate you." It was beautiful. Paul Heyman doing what Paul Heyman does best. They actually were really quick on the replay. I noticed they did bleep him before he managed to say bitch, but I knew what he said. Jinder Mahal bafflingly comes out and starts talking to Brock Lesnar. Says, "Listen, last year I was WWE champion. I was focused on the dream match, Universal Champion Brock Lesnar versus Jinder Mahal, the modern day Maharaja. And then AJ Styles came in, stole the championship from me, and faced you then." Not soon enough. This is to which he then says, "Don't underestimate AJ Styles. I'm here to teach you my mantra and give you a little bit of insight into AJ Styles." Paul Heyman's like, do you even really want to waste your time with this, Brock? I mean, do we need this? And he's like, and Lesnar, and I'm going to cut out the second part because Lesnar's always offensive anyway. He says, "Yeah, no, I'll listen to this." They get in the ring and they try to teach him the Shanti, and Lesnar, to his credit, does it like twice. He goes, "Shanti, Shanti." The hell am I doing here? This is dumb. He doesn't actually say that into the mic, but he looks over, and both the Singh brothers and Mahal are still doing Shanti, and so is Paul Heyman on the outside of the ring. And then Brock Lesnar does what Brock Lesnar does, i.e. suplex everything in sight. And he grabs the first Singh, suplexes him so hard he lands on his neck, clotheslines Jinder over the top, suplexes the other Singh like twice, goes back to the first one, delivers him a suplex, picks up the second Singh, throws him over the top rope at Jinder, gets out the ring and looks at the destruction behind him as they leave from the ringside area. He stops to give Mahal an F5 as well. So, We have been informed throughout the evening that Bobby Lashley will face Elias for a spot on the men's Survivor Series team. We go to the ring where Lio Rush is talking about Bobby Lashley's physique and how his favorite pose is where he bends over and shows his ass to the crowd, which is basically what Lio Rush is doing the whole goddamn time. Before we get, and the whole segment just wasn't like nobody cared. It wasn't boo, no, we don't like you, or yay, keep bringing us more of you being a complete dick. It was, are you done yet? And then Elias's guitar strum, just everybody pops. He reaches into his pocket, he pulls out his phone. You see him. Yeah, CPS. Yeah, I've got a kid here. Bobby Lashley's kidnapped a kid. He's had him for some weeks now. No, yeah, I'm looking directly at him. He bent over for no reason. I don't know what that was about. No, I could ask him, but he probably wouldn't tell me anyway. How old is the kid? Hey, son, how old are you? I'm 24. 24-year-old piece of gold. Yeah, it can't be more than 10. Bobby's just so pissed. He grabs the mic. He's, listen, you want to stand up there and try and be funny? You come on down here and try and be funny. You get in this ring and say all that stuff to my face. Say it at my face. Come on, bring it. Say it at my face. And I thought for sure that, Elias, I don't care heel or face, the thing that he should have done was he comes down to the ring and he gets right up down near the ring and plays a little tune before we go to commercial and they come back and it's Bobby Lashley being dominant. I would have liked to have seen, he takes off the thing. He's still got the guitar over his shoulder. And before the bell can ring, he cracks Bobby Lashley in the face with it. That would have been great. Perfect. But, we come back. Elias is in a headlock. Lio Rush is very much on the outside, causing distractions. Bobby Lashley has a large portion of this matchup physically dominated. They end up on the outside. Rush, after being, I guess, thrown into the barrier, we didn't see him again. He ends up under the ring, grabbing Elias's ankle, preventing him from beating the 10 count right there at the end as he was at a count of 8. And Bobby Lashley is now named to the Raw men's Survivor Series team via countout. This leads to Elias grabbing Lio Rush and throwing him around a little bit, including throwing him into Bobby Lashley multiple times. Personally, this match was criminally far too short for me, and we did not get enough beatdown on Lio Rush, in my opinion. Here we go. I didn't expect this to close out the show, but it absolutely did. We've been told all night that Alexa Bliss will come out and announce who's going to be on the Raw women's team. She comes out with Nikki James, followed closely by Nia Jax and Tamina. So I'm like, okay, that makes sense. Fine, whatever. Alexa's like, listen, after, Natalya was so emotional, she was all riled up and looking to hurt other superstars. I, as team captain, told her to go home. So she will be on the team, but also she says the winner of the following match will be the last superstar on the team. I want somebody who's cutthroat, win at any cost, doesn't really care. And then Sasha Banks' music hits. And I'm like, really? Is this what we're doing? Then we get Bayley. So it's a Sasha Banks v. Bayley match, and they go to town. They get about, I think it was like 15 minutes of match time, and the whole match is basically Bayley and Banks have history and know each other very well. It's right there towards the end. Tamina and Nia Jax attack the pair, and Alexa Bliss is like, well, Sasha Banks didn't win. Bayley didn't win. All right, let's go with the Riot Squad. Ruby Riot. So we have Tamina, Nia Jax, Natalya, Mickie James, and Ruby Riot on the SmackDown team. I'm sorry, on the Raw team. It quickly, as soon as the Riot Squad are all in the ring with the rest of the women, it super cuts like some guy running down the hallway to in the back to Becky Lynch having Ronda Rousey in the disarm her in the back, and a couple refs, pulling her off, and she then moves to go out to the ring, and her music hits. She comes out. She's standing at ringside, and the entire SmackDown women's roster for the Survivor Series match just ambushes them from behind, and apparently Nia Jax landed a stiff shot on Ruby Riot. On Becky Lynch, and busted her nose open because she was seeing just all this blood down her face, up her cheek, and on her arms. She goes and grabs a chair because Ronda Rousey comes out to try and start cleaning house, but her arm has been hurt because she was in the disarmer. She gets a gut shot and a back shot. The rest of the Raw women's roster then clear up the ramp after a little more beat down on the Raw women. The SmackDown women go up the ramp. Becky Lynch is seen looking back with a bloody big smile, and she's looking down at, in the ring, it's a furious and in pain Ronda Rousey to close the show. Personally, again, like I said, this was a decent build for Survivor Series, especially with the women's match, and especially with Becky Lynch versus Ronda Rousey. Now, apparently, I've heard rumor that this match may not go forward, because of the shot that Nia Jax landed on Becky Lynch. Rumor has it that the Irish Lass Kicker suffered not only a physical broken nose, like the bones in her nose are broken, but also she suffered a couple mild concussion, and because of their policy in their health policy in WWE, she has to pass tests that she may not pass before Sunday. So I don't know what we're going to see. I don't know how they're going to get around this, if it is indeed true that she's not going to be able to make it. But we will see tonight on SmackDown Live, which starts here at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time. All that's left for me to say is I want to thank you all for watching. Please like, comment, subscribe, share all those wonderful things down below. Hit the bell for the notifications. Follow the show on Twitter at InMoshPit. I've been Rob, the monster among Mark's Drap. Follow me at Rob's Random Rums. My good friend Sierra is the heavy metal hippie. She hopefully is getting well after having gone to see the dentist today, and should hopefully be back on air with me tomorrow night for the SmackDown Live review. Later.